All right, the Reds. It is Talking Reds live from Liverpool with me, Gareth Roberts, him, Mo Stewart, and you tuning in, watching. Nice one. It is game day. AC Milan v Liverpool. Liverpool already top of the group, already qualified, done and dusted, 5 out of 5. But Mo, 6 out of 6 has a lovely ring to it, doesn't it? And I think, you know, for AC Milan, for Porto, and for Atletico, it's like a cup final day for them. You know, the rest of the group is wide open. It can go any way you want, if you like. So for Liverpool, I think whoever turns out in red tonight can say, well, AC Milan come at us full throttle. They could still qualify. It's in one of the football's cathedrals,
yes,
if you like,
exactly.
and all that kind of stuff. Like, so there's actually loads to savour and enjoy about this.
I think so. I think when we go into games thinking they're going to be dead rubbers or don't matter, that's normally when bad things happen. I think. Like, so for us to be able to go in, like you say, it's a cathedral of football. It's somewhere where we've only played once before, I think, against Inter.
Yeah, we've never played against AC.
Never played against AC there, so it's another step in Liverpool's history. And like you say, for everyone else in the group, this is a really important game. And to be brutally honest with you, I think from a Liverpool perspective, there are certain teams, or should we say a certain team, who we should be trying to help not get through.
So let's go.
So exactly. So obviously, Porto will be the main deciding factor within that, what they do against Atletico. But I think we can't afford to switch off in this game. And you're right, 6 out of 6 sounds good. I'm not sure we've ever done that before either.
No English side has ever done it. So, you know, it's another little slice of history. And if Mo gets one more goal, I know loads of people are sweating about him, even the idea of him playing, but he'll play. I think he'll play. I think you can't tell him he's not playing. He's one of them fellas. If he gets one more goal for Liverpool in the group stage, he'll be the Liverpool player who scored the most in group stages in Champions League history and all that. And he loves that, doesn't he? Those. He loves any record, any stat that says he's boss. He loves and he wants. So
like, I wonder whether Klopp might do you're playing but not starting and get him an angry mode. Angry mode for the last half hour where he can come in and get a bag full. I would be leaning that way myself personally. Obviously Divok's going to get a start. I would be starting Jota as well, just so we can get all of what happened at the weekend out of his system as quickly as possible. And then that only really leaves you one. And yeah, I think Mane has been the one who has been tending to be rested in Champions League games in the last few. But yeah, I think there's nothing wrong with getting Salah a little bit miffed. Just a little bit miffed.
Yeah. And the other thing that people are talking about, and we were talking about yesterday when we were doing Under the Lights, the preview of this, was we were talking about, does Nat Phillips get a go? Because Klopp's been talking him up, and he said about he was the most improved player he'd worked with since Lewandowski, which was quite the comparison. But then, you know, you look at it, he's only played 45 minutes in the Carabao Cup. I think he came on as a sub against Atletico, and that's it. Yeah. And look, you know, there's loads of people that, you know, are a bit like, well, he did a job, but that's it. And he's way back now, and look, he might go in January. Mm-hmm. Like, this feels like I know Klopp's not big on emotion and sentiments and stuff like that, but this feels like just a nice one.
I mean, the Bolton Brazy playing at the home of Brazy, like, it's almost too perfect, isn't it? I mean, I'm very intrigued by how Klopp has turned into an agent for certain players in recent times.
Yeah,
like,
it is interesting.
He's never done that before, and to the point where it makes me think that this is Klopp's version of saying, come buy this guy, he's great. We need you to buy this guy. So it's difficult because from a point of view of a shop window, I think, yeah, it would be a great one. But there is another kind of card in this play, and it's Joe Gomez. Like, how fit is Joe Gomez? Because if he is fit, or if he's fit enough to at least play 60 minutes, I'd prefer to see Joe Gomez play the 60 minutes, particularly if the rumours are true that he's considering his position within the team and the side and the squad. Because all loves aside, we can afford to lose Nat Phillips.
Yeah.
I still don't think we can afford to lose Joe Gomez.
No, we'd like to keep hold of Joe, no doubt about that. Whoever plays at centre-half will no doubt relish the fact that they'll be facing Ibrahimovic. He is going to play this time. He was rested at the weekend. He played the Wednesday before. Obviously, when we beat them 3-2 in September, he wasn't available then. Klopp was asked a question about him in the press conference, but the translation failed. And so he just said, yeah, Ibrahimovic, I've seen him before, good player. He's 40 now. But, you know, like, say for instance, Nat Phillips played, and say for instance, Liverpool kept a clean sheet. That's a nice one on your football CV, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
And I think that would be a nice matchup to see, because I wouldn't know how much Zlatan would know about Nat and how much he would respect him. And the idea of him finding out, it's quite a rude awakening in the game, would be lovely. But one thing I will say about Zlatan, he's going to be a lot more of a threat in Milan than he would have been at Anfield anyway. So I think that Milan are still going to be dangerous. They're going to be missing some of their better players though, like Rafael. If he's not playing, I think that they're remarkably weaker. But they're still going to have Brahim Diaz. He's the guy we really need to be looking out for, I think. They've still got Giroud knocking about the place. He always likes playing against us for some reason. So they're going to have threats. I still think we're going to be able to go there and dominate the game, because they've got bigger fish to fry. They're still top of the league. And last year they were top of the league, and it all kind of fell apart in the second half of the season. So there's a part of me that feels like them not qualifying out of Europe is not the worst thing in the world for them. So it might come to a point, if Liverpool are 2-0 after 60, that they're not quite as scrappy as they were previously. But we'll have to wait and see.
They are marginal favourites, according to the bookies, so we shall see. There's been plenty of stuff previewing this match on the Anfield Wrap. If you subscribe, both video and podcast-wise, to give you a little taster of that, here's some of our preview show.
Up top, I mean, the only name on everyone is Big Divock. He was asked, Jürgen was asked about him in the press conference and talked about, you know, and said, like, he does knock on my door every now and again, but I bet it's a nice one. I bet it's a nice, relaxed one, do you know what I mean? And normally as a manager, if you've got some player who's not playing, knocking on the door, you're like, oh, here's this fella moaning. But imagine Divock, it's always...
He seems too nice, don't he? He'd knock on the door, you'd say no, be like, sound all right, I'll come back in 6 weeks. Do you know what I mean? And then I went on the conversation again. But I think, I mean, he definitely starts, and you'd expect Minamino to be starting as well. And then, I think, hand on heart, you don't really want to see any of the lads if you can help it. But again, due to numbers, he might have to go with one, unless he throws an extra midfielder in there and just does something around, you know, two up top, something like that. But I suspect he may say to Mane or Jota, can you do 45 and then switch it? I get the impression Salah will want to play. I think we all get the impression he'll have his eyes on the prize of being top goal scorer, all that stuff. And I think he just wants to play football matches. I think the manager might just have to hold him back a little bit and have that conversation. But at the same time, because, you know, he wants to play, it wouldn't surprise you if he does feature.
Yeah, I mean, he'll want to play. You know, he knows the numbers are important. He's just come 7th in a Ballon d'Or and stuff like that. You know, you can see his reaction when he's asked about it. He's just sort of laughing. And he knows that come the end of the season, if Liverpool are in a final, people are going to be saying, well, who scored the most goals in the Champions League this season?
Exactly.
And no one's going to be going, oh yeah, but he got rested in that game against Milan. So he said, you know, if he doesn't play, but then he's on one behind or someone else, whoever's in the final or whatever, you'll be like, well, remember, I got laughed at that game, boss. He wants the games, he wants the opportunities to score goals.
He does, but it's also a balancing act, and I think the manager's got to think about what's coming. So you're hoping there's a sensible conversation along the lines of, Mo, by the way, there's tons and tons of games coming here. We're already through. There's more and more opportunities to kind of demonstrate your ability on the kind of European stage. It's only round the corner, and by the way, we've got league games up to our fucking knees.
Well,
do you know what I mean? So just to kind of, you know, hold your horses a little bit. But that said, you know, Mo Salah, I'm sure he's a persuasive guy, and I still think he could get some minutes, but I hope he's not starting.
We're back in play. We're back in play. That is the preview show. If you want to watch the full thing on the Anfield Wrap, subscribe to the Anfield Wrap. You can also join in and get involved with video product on YouTube. If you're currently watching on YouTube, just click join and get involved. I think I've said all that right. If not, just go to theanfieldwrap.com, go and find the subscribe page, get involved. Also, you can download the app. You get free tokens when you download the app. That means you can get the premium product stuff that we do for nothing. You can have a go, you can see if you like it, and if you like it, subscribe. And if you're already subscribed, buy someone a subscription for Christmas. What a great present. You can get it up right up to the last minute if you forgot. All of those things. We've got hats, we've got t-shirts, we've got posters, we've got looks round room to see what else there is, cups. There you go. There's the big sell.
That was a big sell.
That was all right, that wasn't it? That was all right. That was totally off the cuff as well. You could probably tell. Let's have a look at the comments. Then we are doing this one live. Love Robbo and Mo as a duo, says the Spaniard. Thanks,
Nice.
mate. That's nice.
I do too, I think.
I do too. I just picked Mo up outside as he was battling through the elements, and only like a little short ride into the car park, but it felt good. Felt like I was saving a man there. You know what I mean?
You really were. Seriously.
Mane defo needs a rest, says Crisp Ian Bolson. People are putting crisps in their names now, fuck me. Steve C says, I'll be a misery here, but I don't want to see any of the front three, or Ali, or Thiago, or Henderson, or Fab. I think I might have bad news for you, mate.
Well, I mean, there's only so much we can do because of the Champions League squads as well, isn't there? So it's not like we could just send out the entire squad of kids. And also, I think we are in a stage of season where some players will need rhythm, some players will require rest. So I think it depends on a case-by-case basis. Like, there are certain people who, if they got injured in this game, you'd be like, oh. But that's just how it happens sometimes. Like, someone getting injured in this game doesn't necessarily mean they wouldn't have got injured in the next game.
Or in training. I mean, like, you know, Klopp likes to say, and Linders like to say all the time, that the way they set up in training, and you know, a long time ago I got to watch a session, and what they said appeared to be true, in that they go full fucking tilt. Like, I can remember that the session I watched was out in Hong Kong when me and John were out there, and Ben Woodburn absolutely flew into Adam Lallana, and I was like, and like, I looked at Linders and he was like, and I was like, fucking hell, they're not messing around with this intensity thing. So, you know, an injury that happens on the pitch at the San Siro, God bless, you know, fingers crossed, touch everything that it doesn't, you know, could equally happen in Kirby, I think. And also the players just want to play. I think that's the thing that you'd always get that sense from Mo, that he's absolutely sulking if you don't play him. He wants to play, he wants to break all the records. So if you're the manager, what do you say to him? Especially when we can't sort his contract out. Anyway, that's another issue. We're going to talk about that on
We'll get there later.
Okay, Liverpool have also been drawn against Shrewsbury in the FA Cup third round. The Mirror says, reigniting perhaps the most unexpected rivalry in English football. I mean, it wouldn't go that far. No. Shrewsbury currently 19th in the third tier, easy for me to say, and it says, of course, will be huge underdogs against a side many deem the best in the world. We did, of course, play them in 2020. We were paired in the fourth round on that occasion, a 2-2 draw there. We got them back to Anfield, and loads of beef unfolded with the Shrewsbury chairman, Roland Wycherley, being a key character in said beef. He got it into his head that Liverpool, you know, fielding the side he did, lost the money, even though we donated the money from the first leg. The first match, not the first leg. You know, so they got 70 grand from the first match, I think. But he was saying, well, we would have got more if you'd have played your proper side, if Klopp had managed the side, all of this kind of
gear. And they
gear.
would have also got pumped 6-0. So...
And they lost when we played the kids, which was kind of quite funny. And also, it was a really good day. It was a good match to be at.
It was one of my favourite matches of the season. Like, and one of my good friends here in Liverpool is a Shrewsbury fan, so it's kind of special for me because, I mean, he's a mouthy git anyway. But he was at the game, and we kind of met up before and after, and had some fun around it. And I've already texted him, so he's on for a sequel. So I'm looking forward to it already.
There you go. There's a little weird thing as well, which I don't remember reading at the time. But the Mirror's included it in this piece today, saying that Shrewsbury chairman Roland Wycherley at the time apparently drew the ire of Liverpool officials, suggesting he intentionally mixed up red icons Kenny Dalglish and Ian Rush. At a stretch, it might have been funny once, but not all afternoon, a witness said. He was calling him his favourite Welshman and asking him what had happened to his moustache.
Just painfully
Banter!
Like,
the Archbishop of fucking Banterbury there. Fuck off, mate. Do you know what I mean? It's not. That doesn't even sound funny, does it? That just makes me think, you know, I hope we pump you 10-0, like, just off the back of that news.
Like you've been here before is what I hear when I see that or hear something like that. It's just like, at the end of the day, however you might feel about it, this is not the way to go about redressing it. It's like, And again, it's like if you're making a bad joke, or someone around you is making a bad joke on your behalf, you can kind of let it slide once. If it happens a second or third time, then other people in that circle need to kind of drag him out of that situation.
Gareth says Milner suspended for tonight, question mark. He is. He got picked up a booking against Porto.
Strange that.
Yeah, and maybe fancy going to Trafford Centre tonight or something, getting a shopping in, but yeah. Also a shout for salt and vinegar tato rough cuts. Apparently they're immense, according to Sarah there. You can get them for 25p in home and bargains, but she doesn't recommend you sleep on them.
No. Thanks for that tip, because otherwise I was definitely going to make myself a little crisp blanket there.
I think we'll leave it there. I think we've covered everything that needs to be covered today. So, as I say, the Reds in action tonight against Milan. The Anfield Wrap will be doing all the usual stuff on the website in terms of podcasts and in terms of videos. So look out for all of that later on. We'll be recording more stuff right now. Very shortly, we're going into the studio to record 3 strikes. And today's 3 strikes are, let me think what they are. They are Mo Salah's contract, they are the FA Cup, and they are Ralph Rangnick. And more to the point, the reaction to him being able to beat Crystal Palace. It seems that's all he had to do, and he's now the #1 manager in the world. But yeah, the panel, which is Mo, Neil, and Mike Kearney, will be having the say on those 3 strikes. So if you subscribe, you'll be able to listen to that later on. If you don't subscribe, and you'll be able to listen to that later on. Yeah, that's enough sells, and that's enough talking Reds for today. Hope you like the tree. Good to see Mo, innit? Hope the Reds.